Everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're continuing our read through of Robert Jordan's The Eye of the World, and we come up to an exciting chapter. Chapter 5, entitled Winternight. Well, Rand and Tam have come home after all of the kerfuffle and discussions in the village, and they get home and they're on edge. They are walking around the property. They're making sure the animals are still where they need to be. They're making sure that no dark creature on a horse or anything else has disturbed anything. And eventually, they see everything's normal. They calm down. They go inside after doing some chores, clean up, make some stew. They're sitting down to eat it. When Rand's father gets up, goes back into his room, and brings out a key. And he's just going to lock the doors. And again, Rand is a little surprised by that, but he says, hey, look, best to be safe. Maybe I'm taking a fancy, or maybe the weather is blacking my mood, but I'll see to the first door and I'll see to the back door, the front door and back door. So he does. Rand's just thinking, I don't think I've ever remembered these doors being locked. Comes back, but when he comes back out of his room from going to the back door, he has a sword. Tam does. And Rand looks at it, shocked. Where did you get that? He says. Did you get it from a peddler? How much did that cost? Tam sort of ignores him, but says, essentially, I got it a long time ago. I spent too much money on it, and your mother was not pleased, but it's mine, and I'm just going to wear it for tonight. So they calm down, they sit down to eat it, go over to get the stew from the fire, pick up boiling hot kettle for some tea, when they hear a knock and a rattle at the front door. Well, they're still on edge. And Tam says, probably one of the neighbors. So he walks over to the door without really thinking about it. He drops his hands to the hilt of the sword when all of a sudden the door crashes open and a terrifying creature with fur and a snout and a muzzle is standing in the doorway. Rand doesn't even hesitate. In fear, he hurls the kettle of boiling water, and the creature screams and howls. Tam also jumps into action and screams, "Run! Hide in the woods!" and jumps in to fight this creature with his sword. Well, Rand obeys. He runs to the back door, realizes it's locked, and hears rattling at the back door as well. Right as more creatures crash through the back door, he throws himself out of the window and is panting and hides his back against the house. And he screams for his father, "They're coming in the back! I'm outside, Father, run!" So he runs into the woods, and he's hiding in the shrubbery, in behind the trees, in a bush. He's hiding anywhere he can. And he hears his father crash through the window and sprinting off the wrong direction. Rand shouts out, "Father, I'm over here!" Tam responds, "Run, lad, run!" And Rand does not. Rand stays exactly where he's at and freezes. He's thinking, what am I going to do? Where's my father going to? When suddenly a hand closed over his mouth from behind, and he starts swinging and scraping, and his father whispers, "Don't break my neck, lad." And he explains quietly, "I had to make sure you didn't speak out, son. Some Trollocs can hear like dogs." And Rand knows that word, because that's a word from the stories. Trollocs? Trollocs served the Dark One. And all of these mythical tales are suddenly becoming real to Rand. And his father sort of stumbles backwards, and Rand looks down, even though it's dark, and notices, "You're hurt." Tam says, I'm fine. He essentially collapses down to the ground. And Rand reaches down and feels his head, feels his skin. He's burning up. He's on fire. He's got a huge fever. And he says, "You're on fire. I have to get you to Nynaeve in the village." He says, "In a bit, lad. We don't have time." And his father pretty much passes out. Rand is still fearful. The creatures had followed his father, running off the wrong direction. And he thinks, what do I do? I need some supplies. I need to be able to take my father. But is he injured? How am I going to treat these wounds? Makes the decision to take his father's sword, sneak back into the house, get some quick medical supplies, and off he's going to go. So he does. Creeps out, no noise, which is odd because he hears nothing. Looks into the barn. Sure enough, all the creatures are gone or dead. The Trollocs have attacked seemingly for fun. Creeps inside the house, and it's wrecked chaos with dead Trollocs' bodies. And he says the smell is terrible. He goes in, he's stepping carefully, begins to get some supplies, some clean rags. He's looking around when all of a sudden he hears a scraping sound behind him. And to his horror, he turns around, and one of the Trollocs was getting to its feet, and it muttered some gargled, guttered growl. A huge scythe sword in his hand, sharp goat hooves, blackmail on its body. This is the worst case scenario. And he mutters something that Rand understands. Others go away. Narg stay. Narg smart. Rand is absolutely freaking out, right? He says, you put sword down. No need sword. And Rand thinks on his feet quickly. He says, okay, I'm going to put the sword down. Why did you do this? And the Trolloc, Narg, gives him an answer. My drawl want talk to you. Others come, take to my drawl. My drawl. He knew that name as well from the stories. And this is a powerful creature called a Fade. And he knows that if a Trolloc in front of him, fierce, is serving probably this dark horsed rider, if that is a Fade, Rand knows that that is bad news. So he says, all right, I'll talk. Slowly puts down the sword, and the creature jumps, teeth bared, claws out, throws himself towards Rand. Rand desperately reacts, and the creature lands on the sword, crashing him and Rand back into the wall, and lifelessly the Trolloc is laying on the ground with the sword protruding from his back. Rand didn't hesitate. He runs, gets clean cloths, anything else that he can quickly stuff into his pack, nothing serious, and out he runs. He stops in to see if the horse is there, and the horse is not there at this point. It must have either escaped, hopefully not been killed, and he thinks, in this terrifying moment, blood all over him, how am I going to transport my father? And he sees the wagon, tops the wagon over, sword in hand. He's going to try to cut essentially the axle, the bottom of the wagon off. He pushes the wagon over. It splinters in one piece, but he needs to separate it from the massive wheels there's under the wagon. And so he takes his sword. The undamaged shaft is still there that he can lay his father on and drag, right? And pull his father. Only thing he has is his sword. He doesn't want to dull it, but he hacks away to break free the shaft of the wagon, and it chops through. He feels the sword just gently to see how much duller it is if he needs it, and he cuts his finger. It's still sharp. So he drags the shaft over to where his father was. His father is mumbling. He's out of it, right? He puts his father on it, attaches a rope towards the front of it, steps into it, and like a pack mule, he's dragging his father behind him. The thought was like a beacon to him. With everything that's going on, we'll be safe in the village, father. And they would be safe once they reached Nynaeve. She would cure Tam. He just had to get him there. boy, things have really taken off. Trollocs, a fade. His father's injured. He doesn't know how badly, but he has a fever already. And these creatures may be coming back, of what the Trolloc said. What's Rand going to do? Is he going to make it back to the village? We'll see in chapter 6, but that's chapter 5, Winternight. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you on the next video.